And so before we begin the service, I wanted to give you some little inspiration here. I'm going to read you a little book. It's called What is God's Name? By Sandy Eisenberg Sasso. This particular one is illustrated by Phoebe Stone. Does anybody know this one? Phoebe Stone did the pictures. And so what is God's name? Because this weekend in the Shreveport-Bossier area, we are celebrating World Religion Day. We've been doing it for decades. And so I want you to think about other faiths too. So this book says, after God created the world, all living things were given a name, but no one knew the name for God. So each person looked for God's name. Anybody have a clue where you think this is going? If you had to look for God's name, what would you find? The suspense is killing me. The suspense is killing me. What are they going to find for God's name? So this says, exactly, multiple choice. The farmer called God source of life. Okay, now you get it. We're on a roll here. The man, it says, who tended sheep called God shepherd. I can see that. The tired soldier called God maker of peace. Oseh Shalom. The one who took care of sick people called God healer. Healer, because she took care of sick people. The young woman who nursed her baby called God mother. The young man who held his baby's hand called God father. You're catching on, this is good. And the child who was lonely called God friend. All the people called God by different names. Each person said, here's where the problem comes. Every book has it's going along and then it's got a problem and then it comes up. Each person said, my name for God is the best. Best. My name for God is the best. My name's better than your name. That's what they said. But no one listened, it said. Then one day, all of the people came together. They knelt by a lake that was like a mirror, God's mirror. They looked and they saw their own faces. They saw the faces of all the others. At that moment, the people knew that their names for God were good. All at once, all together, they called God one. One. Echad. Adonai Echad. And it says, and God heard and was very happy. So I do this for two reasons. One is, three reasons. Because I thought you'd enjoy it. Maybe. And I did it because it's World Religion Day this Sunday. That was my advertisement for that. And it's an advertisement for the fact that in the morning from 9 to 9:30, we are doing a Kiddush Shabbat, which Kiddush means make something holy. We're making Shabbat holy by doing kid-friendly things. And we do things like tell stories like that and see what the kids come up with for that. So having said all of that, I hope you are now in the mood for Shabbat. It's been... Are you warmer yet? Yet? It's 68 now. Does that help? I've got it set for 74. Very soon, it's 68. Well, 68 in the room. It may not be 68 by you. The door is open. But soon you're going to say, please turn the heat down, Rabbi. That would be good. It's been a really, really, really cold week. How many of you lost power? Did your pipes burst? We lost our original blessers tonight because the pipes burst, and Harriet said, do you need any help with that? And she said, no, because he's a plumber. It was Joe Baca. So he knew what to do with burst pipes, but he had burst pipes too. So it's been a really hard week for some people. Sorry? I think that it has to do with where it freezes and doesn't freeze, and I don't think it has anything to do with forethought. I don't think it does. So I'm glad everybody's here and safe and finally getting warm. That's what we should be getting from Shabbat, is a little bit of warmth. So I'm going to begin our service by trying to take a deep breath. Let it out slowly. Try it again. Let it out slowly. And it may not be a surprise to you that we are going to do service 3, which starts on page 82. And I'm going to invite Debbie DeLynn and Sydney Kent to please come up and help us with our blessings. On page 82, please rise. Bim bum, bim 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 bum, bim 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 bum. What do those words mean? Bim bum, bim 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 bum, bim 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 bum. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat 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 shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Page 82. Is it on, Sydney? I'm sorry, it's not on. Thank you. Thanks for reminding me.
These lights are only the flickering flames, yet flames illumine our uncertain steps. Flames remind us of Sabbaths long past and of their beauty that delighted our hearts. May they inspire us to work for the great Sabbath of peace. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
We praise you, eternal God, sovereign of the universe. You hallow us with your mitzvot and command us to kindle the Sabbath lights.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Nice. That was good. I like that.
Good squeak.
That was kind of impressive.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei porei hagofen.
Amen. We're on 167. We're going to 166. So
We
we're doing.
praise you, eternal God, sovereign of the universe, creator of the fruit of the vine.
Amen.
We praise you, eternal God, sovereign of the universe. You call us to holiness with the mitzvah of Shabbat, the sign of your love, a reminder of your creative work and of our liberation from Egyptian bondage, our day of days. On Shabbat especially, we hearken to your call to serve you as a holy people. We praise you, O God, for the holiness of Shabbat.
Amen. L'chaim.
This is very good, Debbie. I mean, it's fantastic.
It's great vintage.
Just fantastic. You'll love it.
It's the symbol. We have a saying on Shabbat morning that wine is the symbol of joy and grape juice is the symbol of wine, and he's enjoying the symbol of wine right there.
Great juice. Thank you, Debbie.
You are welcome to sit down. If you please say Shabbat Shalom to someone you came in with and someone you didn't come in with. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you.
Good Shabbos.
Thank you, Debbie. Good Shabbos. Thank you very much. Yeah, go around the guitar. It's good. Thank you. We go back to page 83. You know what? We're going to skip 83. We're going to sing. I'm in a singing mood today. Page 84. We're going to sing this one. Next week is Shabbat Shira, which is the Sabbath of song. And for 12 years now, we've had a totally music or almost totally music service. And next week we have Spencer Reichman is coming. And we're working on some other musicians coming too, and it's going to be wonderful. This is a version of Shalom Aleichem I would like to try to do, and I don't know that we'll get to do it next time, but I like this one. Page 84. Each verse repeats twice with a different melody. It goes like this. Shalom Aleichem Malachi Hasharet Malachi Elyon Mimelech Malachi Mamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Shalom Aleichem Malachi Hasharet Malachi Elyon Mimelech Malachi Mamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's the melody. Try it. Boachem l'shalom, malachei shalom, malachei elyon, mimelech malachei hamlachim, akadosh Baruch Hu. We're supposed to repeat it so you can get that melody. Try it again. I don't care if it sounds good or not. You're not on microphone. It doesn't matter. Boachem l'shalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon, mimelech malachei hamlachim, akadosh Baruch Hu. Next part goes, Boachem l'shalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon, mimelech malachei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Barchuni l'shalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon, mimelech malachei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Try that again. Barchuni l'shalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon, mimelech malachei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Next part goes, Barchuni l'shalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon, mimelech malachei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Last verse. Tzedchem l'shalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon, mimelech malachei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem l'shalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon, mimelech malachei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem l'shalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon, mimelech malachei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. I sing that when I hear it in my head all week long now. The synagogue is the sanctuary of Israel. Born of our longing for the living God, it has been to Israel throughout our wanderings, a visible token of the presence of God in our people's midst. Its beauty is the beauty of holiness. Steadfast it has stood as the champion of justice, mercy, and peace. Its truths are true for all people. Its love is a love for all people. Its God is the God of all people. As it has been said, my house shall be called a house of prayer for all peoples. Let all the family of Israel, all who hunger for righteousness, all who seek the eternal, find God here, and here find life. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divra chiruteh, v'yamlich malchuteh, b'chayechon u'v'yomechon, u'v'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala, ba'agala, uvizman kariv v'imiru, amen. Yehe shmei Rabbah mevarach, la'alam ol almei almaya, yitbarach, yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitpahar v'yitramam v'yinaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yithalal, shemech dekudesha b'richu, leila min kol berchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran be'alma, v'imiru, amen. Barechu et Adonai hamevorach, Baruch Adonai hamevorach l'olam va'ed. Oh God, how can we know you? Where can we find you? You are as close to us as breathing, yet you are farther than the farthermost star. You are as mysterious as the vast solitudes of night, yet as familiar to us as the light of the sun. To Moses you said, you cannot see my face, but I will make all my goodness pass before you. Even so does your goodness pass before us in the realm of nature and in the joys and sorrows of life. When justice burns within us like a flaming fire, when love evokes willing sacrifice from us, when to the last full measure of selfless devotion, we demonstrate our belief in the ultimate triumph of truth and righteousness, then your goodness enters our lives, and we can begin to change the world. And then you live within our hearts, and we, through righteousness, behold your presence. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem, Kevod Malachuto, Le'olam Va'ed. You may be seated unless you can help me lead the V'ahavta today. Who would like to come help me lead the V'ahavta? You could come. Come on. Whoop. No? Okay. It's optional. Do we need a step stool? Tell me if we need a step stool. Ready? How about for some of these people? Whoa, I'm pulling this out, pulling it out. Okay. You can sneak on. Come on, go ahead. No, you're good. All right, somebody start me off with a Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha ve'hayu ha'devarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shiftecha b'veitecha u'v'lechtecha v'derech u'v'shochvecha u'v'kumecha u'kshartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot bein einecha u'chetavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותייך והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם Adonai Elohechem Emet. That was really good. Thank you, everybody. You shall love your eternal God with all your heart, with all your mind, with all your being. Set these words which I command you this day upon your heart. Teach them faithfully to your children. Speak of them in your home and on your way, when you lie down and when you rise up. Bind them as a sign upon your hand. Let them be symbols before your eyes. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Be mindful of all my mitzvot and do them. So shall you consecrate yourselves to your God. I am your eternal God, who led you out of Egypt to be your God. I am your eternal God. Okay, you're going to help me out again today. Fewer people on this side, but you can take the first part and you can take the response. I, the Eternal One, have called you to righteousness and taken you by the hand and kept you. I have made you a covenant people, a light to the nations. We are Israel, witness to the covenant between God and God's children. This is the covenant I make with Israel. I will place my Torah in your midst and write it upon your hearts. I will be your God, and you shall be my people. We are Israel. Our Torah forbids the worship of race or nation, possessions or power. You who worship gods that cannot save you, hear the words of the Eternal One. I am God, there is none else. We are Israel. Our prophets proclaimed an exalted vision for the world. Hate evil and love what is good. Let justice well up as waters and righteousness as a mighty stream. We are Israel, schooled in the suffering of the oppressed. You shall not oppress your neighbors, nor rob them. You shall not stand idle while your neighbor bleeds. We are Israel, taught to beat swords into plowshares, commanded to pursue peace. Violence shall no longer be heard in your land, desolation and destruction within your borders. All your children shall be taught of your God, and great shall be the peace of your children. We are Israel, O God. You are my witnesses, says the Eternal One, and my servant whom I have chosen. Know me, therefore, and put your trust in me. We are Israel, O God, when we proclaim you, God our Redeemer, as did our ancestors on the shores of the sea. And this is why we have next week as, is it on, sir? Tim? You hearing it? It's this song that we sang when we got to the other side of the sea that we do in next week's Torah portion. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osef eleh, nora tehilot osef eleh. It might not have been that melody, but that's the words. In their escape from the sea, your children saw your sovereign might displayed. This is my God, they cried. The Eternal will reign forever and ever. V'ne'emar, and it has been said, the Eternal One delivered Jacob and redeemed us from the hand of one stronger than ourselves. Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. We praise you, O God, Redeemer of Israel. May we lie down this night in peace and rise up to life renewed. O God, spread over us your shelter of peace, of quiet and calm, and bless us with rest. And let a time come when morning will bring no word of war or famine or anguish, a time of happiness, of contentment and rest. Can you read the Hebrew? Who can read the Hebrew? Let's try to read that Hebrew. Baruch atah Adonai, hapores sukat shalom, aleinu va'al kol amo Yisrael, v'al Yerushalayim, which doesn't mean we give thanks for the night and its rest and the promise of peace for all the world. What does it mean? It means, praised are you, Adonai, the one who spreads a sukkah of peace upon us, upon all of Israel and all of Jerusalem. And I like to add, and all the world. Vishameru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. Please rise for the tefillah, which begins on page 93. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. O eternal God, open my lips that my mouth may declare your glory. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, ואלוהי רחל, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. God of all generations, of Abraham and Isaac and Jacob, of Sarah, Rebekah, Leah, and Rachel, be praised. Your wondrous creative power fills heaven and earth. God of life and death, be praised. Through us, send help to the falling, healing to the sick, freedom to the captive. Confirm your faithfulness to those who sleep in the dust. Awesome and holy God, be praised. With acts of love and truth, we hallow your name. As it is said, be holy, for I, your eternal God, am holy. God of times and seasons, be praised. Enable us through Sabbath rest to explore and learn and impart the meanings of your Torah. Make our hearts ready to serve you this day and all days. God who answers prayer, be praised. May we, your people Israel, be worthy in our deeds and our prayer. Wherever we live, wherever we seek you, in this land, in Zion restored, in all lands, you are our God. Source of life and its wonders, be praised. You are the miracle within all we behold. You are goodness, you are compassion. We give thanks to you forever. Please join me in the paragraph below the Hebrew. God of peace, of justice, and of love, be praised. Inspire us to banish forever hatred, war, and bloodshed. Help us to establish forever one human family united in peace. God of peace, bless us with peace. We take a moment for our own silent prayers. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. עושה שלום במרומיו, the song, I was very proud of my fingers because they remembered everything they were supposed to do. And in the middle of the song, they forgot everything they were supposed to do. That was bad. I'm sorry about that. Forgetting everything. Let's see if we can fix this now. Okay. We turn to the inside back cover of our prayer book as our prayers and our hearts turn to those who are ill or recuperating. And I turn off the microphone as we read the names who are connected to our congregation. If you have other names that you'd like us to add to our prayers, I invite you to call them out. Yogi. Tim, yeah. Tim, you're on the list today. For all these names, for the names we choose to hold in our heart and not say out loud, we prayed together. Oh God, in our hearts we name those who are facing illness and pain. We join our prayers with the prayers of all who love them. Give them renewed comfort and courage. Strengthen in them the healing powers you have placed within us all. Guide the hands and hearts of those who are entrusted with their care. May the knowledge of your love and ours give added hope to them and to their dear ones. May they find even greater strength because our prayers are linked to theirs. Baruch atah Adonai, Rofeh HaCholim. We praise you, eternal God, the source of healing and health. And we think that some of our guys from Barksdale just got deployed. We think of them, and I found out the young man that I was talking about last week. By the way, our last week's recording didn't work very well at all. We apologize for that. But it turned out that his deployment so far has started with Texas. First he's in Texas for a few weeks, and then he's in New Mexico, and then he goes overseas. But he hopefully is watching us again tonight. But we say, Mishaberach avotenu v'imotenu, may the one who blessed and protected our ancestors guard all those whom we have entrusted with the responsibility of defending our freedom and protecting us. In this country, in the land of Israel, and everywhere they've been called to serve, may they return home safely. And let us say, Amen. So I started with names of God. I want to turn you to a page again, a page that I turned you back to. Turn to page 91 if you don't mind for a second. So on Sunday we have a World Religion Day, and there is a Judaism booth. And anybody who wants to, of this group, I invite you to come and sit at our Judaism table to answer questions about Judaism. There's booths about, or tables, I call them booths, but it's not sukkah-like, but there are tables set up with lots of different religions that exist here in Shreveport. I'm going to let you know that the Muslim table has been having really good baklava the last few years. It's worth going. Usually the Wiccan table, the witches have the best cookies. I don't know why. Last year they didn't do cookies, they did something else. I'm just saying. But there's an Egyptian pagan group, there's a Baha'i group, there's various Christian denominations. This year, Bishop Michael Duca is going to be the keynote speaker at 1 o'clock. I've truly enjoyed being part of this. Cantor Neil and I will be doing some shofar blowing, some singing, some blessings, some panel things. We have a teen panel this year. I need some teenagers to help with that. But anyway, if somebody asks you a question and you're sitting at the booth, and I'm sure this has happened to you not at a booth, just at the kitchen, you're out to lunch with somebody, what would you say is God's name? You'd say Hashem. And why would you say Hashem? It's the what? It's the name for everybody, she said. So she would call it the name because it's the name for everybody. So Hashem, it means the name. So it's the nickname that we give to say that this is the name I'm going to call you. Why do we need a nickname for God? Because it says, do not take my name in vain. So the tradition that we have gotten from that is we don't say God's name because we don't really know what it means to take it in vain. We don't say God's name. If you look at the top of page 91, I'm going to show you something kind of fun. If you start from the right, you see a teeny word with a hyphen, and then another big chunk, and then another word, and then a comma, a comma, and then there's another word with a question mark at the end. So I'm looking at Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, and there's a question mark. If you look in this book, the way that it spells Adonai, what we say is Adonai, doesn't look like it says Adonai. It's made up of 4 letters. The letters are Yud He Vav He, and there's no vowels. The vowels are the dots and the dashes underneath the letters. So it says Adonai with 4 letters, Yud He Vav He. If you go to the bottom of the page, the bottom paragraph on 91, and you look at the first word is Hashkivenu and a comma, and that very next thing, the thing that looks like 2 little things just hanging there in the sky together, right? That's how you spell Adonai most of the time in the prayer book. Just 2 little yuds hanging out in the sky. It's one of the cool things, by the way, about Hebrew is that the letters start from the top, like they're coming from here, and they come down. English letters start from the bottom and go up. But Hebrew letters come down. We have this word that represents Adonai, which is God. It's our nickname for God. And they're just kind of floating in the air and coming down. But if you see the 4-letter word, the Yud He Vav He, it means that it's a direct quote from Torah. Every time you see the 4-letter Adonai. When I was first learning Hebrew, and we're doing some Hebrew in the prayer book, and I'd get lost all the time. Every time I'd hear an Adonai, I'd look for one of those 2 words so I can find it. You know, pick a page, any page, and you're going to see them all over the place. And if you could find it, then you had a clue where you were and you could catch up again. But the Yud He Vav He name is a really interesting name. That's the way that it's spelled. Now, God has given a lot of names in the Torah. Can you think of other names that God has given in the Torah? Pick one. Elohim, the very first one that comes up in the Torah. But we talk about God as this word, and the letters are spelled out, and the vowels change. And you're supposed to change the pronunciation of the name, and it's supposed to be so that it helps you to not say God's name. Some people get very stressed about the fact that we don't say God's name. They think we're supposed to be able to say it. But Jewish tradition says that the last time we would have said God's name would have been when the temple was still standing, which was 70 of CE 70 of the Common Era, when the Romans destroyed the temple and we stopped doing offerings. That year on Yom Kippur, we would have been the last time that we would have said God's name. And we didn't get to say it. Only the high priest said it at the most important time, or the most important day, in the most important room, in the Holy of Holies, and only the high priest knew how to say God's name, how to pronounce it. God's name is an amazing, the sound of it, the look of it, is made up of a yud, which is a y, and a ha, a he, and the vav, which is a w, and then a he. They're all vowel letters. So that when I look at God's name, I think of just breathing. I don't know how to say it, but I think of it as breathing. God is an existence, breath, what gives me life. And it always inspires me to see this. So when we go to something like World Religion Day, we get to find out lots of different ways, like in our little book, of naming God. And what stresses me in this world is when someone thinks that their way of naming God is the best way or the only way. That's a stressful thing. We don't get to decide that. I tell this story often about the pastor that came to Torah study, and he was kind of shocked and wanted to let me know. He had a friend, someone who come from the Orient, and came to his service and told him that in his country he had hundreds of gods. And the pastor was, I don't remember if he was, I think he was from China. And they had hundreds of gods. And the pastor was kind of shocked. He was mortified. How could you have hundreds of gods? And I told him I thought that was very awesome. Because you walk outside and you look at a rock and you think of a rock god. And you look at a tree and you think of a tree god. And you look at the sky and you look at a sun god. Everything he looked at was holy. I do the same thing, but they're not separate gods in my world. Everything is one. And so when I look at these things in life and everything is one and everything is holy, it influences the way I live my life. So if somebody else is coming to you and everything that they see is holy and it makes them lead a good life, I think that's awesome. It doesn't bother me at all that they come up with different names for God. So that's my story for you for today. And in lieu of, I'm going to tell you what else is going on in the world today. So we already talked about the Kiddush Shabbat tomorrow from 9 to 9:30. This Sunday during religious school, we have presentations from Henry S. Jacobs Camp. Anybody here have been to Henry S. Jacobs Camp? Raise your hand bigger, bigger. Henry S. Jacobs, good. Look at this. We got groups. So B'nai Zion and the Jewish Federation are very generous when it comes to being able to help make people come to camp. We believe very strongly that kids who go to camp have stronger Jewish identities. It's proven fact. And so we have been generous. If you want to see where your money's going, there's a slide, not even a slide presentation, a movie. They've turned it into a movie. The kids who've been there are going to be in there. You're going to see their pictures in there. You're going to see what kind of cool things they do. Like, what's your favorite thing that you do at camp? What? I can't hear you. The tower. You're going to get to see the tower. That they get to climb this huge, tall tower, and they do have strings attached to them, but it's still awesome. Or the blob, where they go boinging into the lake or something like that. There's cool things. You can see all those things if you want to come Sunday morning. Then we have World Religion Day from 1 to 5. And by the way, if you're wondering, Aleph class will meet this Sunday, but Bet class will not. 1 to 5 at the, it's called the Highland Center on 520 Olive Street. The motto this year is, diversity within unity creates community. That's cool. Bishop Duca is speaking at 1 o'clock. If you need to know what time I'm doing my stuff, you can come. I'll let you know. Next Shabbat is Shabbat Shira. Spencer Reichman is coming, and we will have a very musical Shabbat. We are working on other people coming as well, and I hope that you join us. It happens once a year that we kind of go off of our normal slot, and it's going to be wonderful. But in 2 weeks, the person who's going to be leading the service is Abby Katz, and she will be called to the Torah as a bat mitzvah. And then 2 weeks later, the person being called to the Torah is Gabrielle Miller. And she will be awesome. She's going to help lead Friday. Her primary is going to be Saturday when we'll be taking out the Torah. So there's a lot of reasons for you to be coming to B'nai Zion, and I love that, especially now that the heat is working. And I'm supposed to also let you know that there is one more Shiva Minyan for Carol Goodman. Tomorrow, we sent out a notice that it was at 4 o'clock, but they realized that was a mistake. It's not going to be during Shabbat. It will be right after Shabbat at 6 o'clock. We will start with a brief Havdalah, and then we'll go into the minyan. And then the other thing I'm supposed to tell you is that next week, while we're doing our awesome musical service, any of the kids who want to, the young kids, are going to go in a separate place because Kessler, our ISJL fellow, is going to be here, and she's going to have a cool service for just the little kids during Friday night services, taking them away someplace else during part of it. And she'll be here all weekend doing some awesome stuff. She will be doing Torah study, by the way, next Saturday morning. And I tell you that donations were made to B'nai Zion or for Pulpit Flowers in loving memory of Elsa K. Kent by the family. So now I ask anybody who wants to help me boing up the stairs, please come up and help me open up the ark for the Aleinu, while everybody else is turning to page 148. Anybody else? Who's my boingers today? Boingers. It could be any age. I'm not putting an age limit on it. Any boingers. All boingers. Page 140. Even flying up, that works. Flying up the stairs works for me. That's a. Open the doors. Here you come. I'm waiting. Come on. Nice. Torahs. Don't you do that every time you open the ark? Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, latet gedula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu kigoye ha'aratzot, v'lo samanu kemishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'gor aleinu kichol hamonam. Va'anachnu benjaniz korim, bow down umishtachavim, umodim, lift up, lifnei melech, malachei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu. And on the facing page we sing, V'nemar, v'haya Adonai, l'melech al kol haaretz, bayom hahu, Yehyeh Adonai echad, u'shemo echad. When the ark is closed, you may be seated. Thank you. We're going to fly down. I'm going to walk down. It's been a long time since I flew down the stairs. Thank goodness. So I'm going to show you something else about that name. If you look on page 149, right where we just sang the Hebrew words. So the top two strips of Hebrew words. If you look, can you find the Yud-He Vav-He word on both of those lines? That means it's a direct quote from the scriptures. Do you see what I'm talking about? I'm on page 149, and which may be the opposite page on yours. But on the first line, the third word is Adonai, and on the second line, the fourth word is Adonai. But I want you to look at the words before that. On the first line it says V'ne'emar, and then its next two words are V'haya Adonai. But you notice that V'haya has all the exact same letters as Yud-He Vav-He. They're just jumbled up. And the next line it says Bayom Hahu, and then it says Yehyeh Adonai echad. So it says Yehyeh Adonai. So the word V'haya and the word Yehyeh has a lot of breathing to it. It has to do with be, to be. And the name of God, the word that we don't say out loud, is being, just is. I just think that's cool. I am saying. So page 151. This year, we have 3 military deaths and 6 police deaths, 1 from Louisiana. We have 3 firefighter deaths, and 1 of those was from Louisiana. May their memories be a blessing. May we be forever grateful that there are people who are willing to run into danger in order to protect us. May their families be consoled. And on page 151, we continue. Our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, let us meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. We continue on page 153. In nature's ebb and flow, your eternal law abides. As you are our support in the struggles of life, so also are you our hope in death. In your care, O God, are the souls of all the living and the spirits of all flesh. Your power gives us strength. Your love comforts us. O life of our life, soul of our soul, cause your light to shine into our hearts. Fill us with trust in you and turn us again to the tasks of life. And may the memory of our loved ones inspire us to continue their work for the coming of your sovereign rule. However brief may be our time on earth, O God, you endow our fleeting days with abiding worth. We now recall the loved ones whom death has taken from us during this last Shloshim, 30 days. And we remember Joan Luntz Golder, Leon Abramson, Janet Pachter Stewart, and Carol Goodman. And as we remember those who died at this season in years past, we take them into our hearts with our own. The people for whom we are observing yortzites this week include Larry Abrams, Ben Blumberg, Albert Elmer, Anna Vinsky, Bernard Fain, William Fellman, Ruth Goldshaw, Adeline M. Hermer, June Harold, Hubert Joyner, Elsa K. Kent, Fanny Klumak, Stella Loeb, Sophie Mizell, Erwin Muslow, Deborah Richardson, Morris Schuster, Rose Seligman, and Alan Sugar. In this moment of memory, our griefs and sympathies are mingled. Loving God, we rise as together we praise your name. The Mourner's Kaddish is found on page 154. The translation is on 155. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divra chiruteh v'yamlich malchuteh, b'chayei chon u'v'yomei chon u'v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'vizman kariv v'imru, amen. Yehe shemei Rabbah mevarach la'alam u'lalmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal, shemei dekudsha b'richu. La'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru, amen. Yehe shalama rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved. Amen. Please be seated. I would like to call up my mini-me's. Anyone who is under the age of 12 can come. Whoop, I forgot something important. Somebody took my hand sanitizer away too. That's something new we're going to do from now on. Right, somebody do me a favor. Hold this. Thank you. And everybody else hold this. Are you on trade? I'll take this now. That's beautiful. Bethany's not even here this weekend. We have a Bethany special challah. You ready? Hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together as a joyful prayer is sang.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz v'te'avon. Grab some challah. I take the board. You take the challah. I take the board. You take the challah. Thank you. They weren't giving up the board. I like the board. So it doesn't matter to me how you say God. It's really okay. I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad you're on the journey with me to try to figure out a way to understand God's essence and God's being. Please rise for the closing benediction. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you. May God protect you. Yair Adonai panav elecha v'choneka. May the light of God's face shine upon you. Be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God's face be always looking up to you. And may God grant you peace. Shabbat shalom. Bim bam bim 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 bam. Bim 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 bam. Chiri biri biri bim bam. Bim 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 bam. Bim 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 bam. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat 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 shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat 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 shalom. Shabbat Shabbat. Shabbat Shabbat shalom. Shabbat Shabbat. Shabbat Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat 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 shalom. Bim bam. Bim 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 bam. Bim 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 bam. Chiri biri biri bim bam. Bim 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 bam. Bim 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 bam. Shabbat shalom.